It is this painting that was perhaps America's first glimpse of the work of Ernest Eugene Barnes, Jr. Featured in the CBS show Good Times, a piece of art called Sugar Shack. The same painting graces the cover of the legendary singer Marvin Gaye's I Want You album. That was in 1976, and the demand for his work blossomed, says former ABC Good Morning America anchor David Hartman.
Ernie I met like 40 years ago in Los Angeles, and I was mesmerized by a painting I saw, which I couldn't afford, and kept thinking about it all night. Went back the next day and tried to buy it, and he happened to be standing there. I didn't know he was the artist, and he said, "Well, I'm sorry, that painting is sold." And I was heartbroken because I wanted that painting. And he said, "Well, would you like me to paint you another one sort of like it?" And I thought, oh my goodness, you're Mr. Barnes. So that began our friendship of the last 40 years.
Barnes, whose specialty was colorful, elongated human figures, would become known internationally for two types of paintings, sports images and scenes from Black America, both inspired by his own history. He explained in a 1990s CNN interview.
We all have for one thing, the image of the ghetto as breeding only crime, filth, and illiterates. And there are people who live in deprived circumstances who have ambitions and dreams, and they are taking the worst of times and transforming them into the best of times.
Look, I don't know anything about art. I just know that when I look at his paintings, I get it.
It is that gift to reach people, says Good Times creator Norman Lear, that inspired him to use the artist's work in the hit show.
There aren't that many artists who catch motion, who make snapshots of life. And Barnes is one of those people.
The desire to paint sports images came from Barnes's days as a college and professional football player. 6 years as an offensive lineman in the Old American Football League. An artist, he said, trapped in an athlete's body.
I know that was something I had to do in order to get to where I am now.
35-year-old artist Achille Richards says it was Barnes who inspired him to paint.
Ernie tried to show the world and show this, what was going on in the world, and I kind of do the same thing with a slight different technique and things of that nature. But he shows the soul of humanity, and I wanted to do the same.
That comes as no surprise to North Carolina Central Chancellor Charlie Nelms.
He considered himself more of a teacher than an artist, but he taught through his art. And he was able to touch the spirit and the soul of people through his art without using words. He was able to do it in images. And I think that's what made him so special as an artist.
6 months after Barnes' passing, his alma mater, NC Central, held a memorial. Barnes would become one of the most respected artists of his generation, his accomplishments too numerous to mention here. More album covers, art shows hosted by the rich and famous spanning generations, like Ethel Kennedy, Congressman Jack Kemp, Representative John Conyers, political analyst Donna Brazile, and actor Charlton Heston. And in 1984, Barnes was appointed the official sports artist for the Olympic Games in Los Angeles. Later, the 1987 basketball champion Los Angeles Lakers would commission him to paint a piece called Fast Break. The family of actor Will Smith wanted this oil of his two sons. And the list goes on.
Ernie Barnes' work crossed all racial, society, educational levels. It appeals to everyone.
Luz Rodriguez, his personal assistant for 21 years, says all Barnes wanted to do was inspire us all, like he did with artist Achille Richards, who specializes in digital airbrushing, a process not available when Barnes became an artist. But if it were,
it would be breathtaking. Just his use of the human form, it just says a lot. He has a painting called Victory in Overtime. It's a photo, or it's a picture of a overtime of a football game, and without showing any faces, you can tell the emotion on the different players' face bodies by using the body movement instead of necessarily seeing their faces. So he knew how to use the body magnificently.
That, another Barnes trademark. Most of his characters cannot see.
I tend to paint everyone, most everyone, with their eyes closed because I feel that we're blind to one another's humanity. So if we could see the gifts, strengths, and potentials within every human being, then our eyes would be open.
Ernie Barnes, an artist who used blindness to help us all see. Frederica Whitfield, CNN.